Hey guys, it's Kim here. I've had a lot of questions on or comments on my video of being vegan for 3 days, and there was one that really stuck out to me on why I particularly went vegan after eating meat, from being a meat eater. And then there was a comment down saying that a lot of things with our digestive system now, but I will actually just pull them up to read them what the actual wording of them was. Okay, so there's one saying digestive issues are becoming an epidemic and that I am inspiring. Well, yes, I have problems with my digestive system and I have had digestive problems for years. I just always thought it was just dairy products like milk, cheese, like milk. I'm lactose intolerant, so milk used to bother my stomach, but I have a really acidic stomach, which my stomach produces too much stomach acid, so it becomes very acidic and it burns my stomach lining. So I would drink milk, and that was the only time milk wouldn't bother my stomach. It would just recoat my stomach, if that makes sense. I'm not sure. If any of you guys are lactose intolerant and you have that exact same feeling, comment down below. The other thing is, I've wanted to actually go vegan/vegetarian for, been out of school for 9 years, so it would have been when I was in like grade 8 or 9 that I started feeling like something was wrong with me. Like, it wasn't just cheese bothering me or milk or dairy products. It had to do with other things, and my mom was like a little cautious, so I decided just to stick to meat, of course, because my brother eats meat, my parents eat meat, so we were a meat-loving family. And I'm not saying I never loved meat. I loved meat. I lived off of it for my whole life. I'm just now deciding, since I'm 26, I need to figure out what's good for me and what's good for my digestive system, and whether it's vegan or whether certain meats are what are causing me to not be able to digest very well. But for now, it's 6 days, and I am feeling really good about it. I don't miss meat. I know that would be weird if I didn't, but I actually don't. I felt very tired eating meat. I felt very depressed eating meat. I don't feel depressed anymore. I find I'm drinking way more water than I used to. Not sure if that has anything to do with eating meat, but that's just my opinion. I find myself drinking more water than I did when I did eat meat. The other comment I had, which I answered all these comments, I think there's 3, but just the 2 that I can pull up right now, I answered them already, so I already replied to their comments. And I just decided to do a video without waiting for them to come back and say they wanted a video like this. This one was actually from a guy who asked me. His comment was, why did you switch from a meat eater to vegan? So, of course, what I just explained about the other comment, it was my choice. I have a lot of digestive issues. There is a lot of high cholesterol and high blood pressure in my family, and cancer and diabetes. So, not necessarily saying meat causes cancer or meat causes high cholesterol or anything like that. I just had digestive issues for years. I always found like my food wasn't being digested properly, so I always felt gross in clothes the next day if I were to eat like a steak. Like, steak was my favorite meat, don't get me wrong. I love my red meat. That's where I got all my iron because I couldn't drink milk. I couldn't, like... But the main cause of why I went vegan is because of my constipation. So, growing up for so many years, I thought it was just dairy products like cheese was the main source of my constipation. But now as I got older, because I've cut out like cheese for so many years that I was still getting constipated. And, like, I'm not gonna say I never had the odd piece of cheese here and there, like on a burger or on nachos or whatever. Like, I'm not saying I never had a piece of cheese for years. I did. That's because I love cheese. I'm not gonna say that I just cut it out like it was no tomorrow. No. It was a struggle for me not to eat cheese growing up. I had to limit to myself to a piece of cheese, like a little thin slice of cheese on like a burger if I wanted or something like that. And you know what? I don't want to live my life like that with meat. Like, I have a hard time now when it comes to meat and being on a vegan diet it is my 6th day today. So this is Thursday the 19th of July. And so to me, I don't miss meat because how I look at it is how every other vegan looks or that has tried to go vegan, they went vegan for a reason. Me, I love animals and I've had pets growing up. I've had dogs, I've had cats. I grew up on a farm and my dad raised cattle. So, and to see that the beef is coming from a cattle, there's reasons that beef has came from that cow or the cattle. They're either sick or they just got old. And you know what? My dad never really butchered cattle unless if he had a good reason. Like if they got hurt and they weren't going to get better, then he would call the vet, and if the vet said no, there's nothing they can do, well then yeah, my dad would butcher the animal. But that's not necessarily like every place else. That's just my dad and my background. Majority of our meat growing up came from our own cattle. We rarely ever bought from the store until my dad retired from cattle and sold all the cattle that we had left. I think when he sold the cattle, it was I think I was in grade 10 or grade 11, and he decided he no longer wanted to deal with cattle and everything. So he got out of that. He just got out of the farming business now, so he's done that. He seeded his last few crops last summer, so yeah, he's officially no longer a farmer anymore. But of course, the main reason I went to a vegan diet is because of my own health and because of my own digestive system. And I feel a lot better not eating meat, and I don't know if that's just because I never should have been a meat eater growing up. I should have always been a vegan. I always found my body had a hard time digesting meat. It's just we really didn't know what was causing like the main issue of my digestive system. Like, you know, your digestive system has to do with how it leaves your body, right? So the one way it would leave my body was starting to affect me more and more as I grew up older. So the one main source of how it leaves your body without having to like throw it up or, you know, pee it out, like, you know, it's the other one, just don't feel like saying it again. But the fact that I was getting more and more constipated the more I got older, it was starting to become a struggle. Because there was days where I would go, actually weeks, I would go without going number 2. And don't get me wrong, like, I feel really embarrassed going through all this. But you guys need to understand, like, it's not easy for me to just go from being a meat eater to giving up meat. I have to find so many different things to get my protein from that I've never ate. Like, I've never ate beans. I'm disgusted by beans. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna lie. I know there's so many vegetables, so many different things that I can get my protein from, and that's what I have to work on right now, is trying to figure out what that stuff is. And I just ate lunch, so I'm kind of burping it up. That's what happens with a really acidic stomach. It has a hard time sitting in my stomach, so it sometimes burns and I kind of burp up the excess acid in my stomach. I know people are gonna like comment and be like, oh, what is acid reflux? And if you guys want me to do a video on acid reflux, just leave a comment down below and I definitely can do that. It's not that hard for me to talk about and go through my journey with it. Like, I grew up with it, so I had it for so many years. And if you're new to having it, I can give you like my tips and tricks on how I deal with it and how I dealt with it. So anyways, moral of my story of why I went from being a meat eater to being a vegan is just my main digestive system. I have a hard time digesting stuff, and it's so far I'm liking being vegan. I'm not saying I'm gonna be vegan the rest of my life. I won't make my decision till I hit 2 weeks of being vegan. I will do a video on the day that I hit 2 weeks. I work that night, I work that day. So it might not be till the night or till the Monday because I work that whole weekend. And the 28th is a Saturday, and that's when I'll hit 2 weeks. Because I decided to go vegan Friday. Let me just check my calendar since my phone's right here. Friday the 13th, I started vegan at supper. So I am doing my 2-week review being vegan on the 28th, which is a Saturday. So that will, that's where I will make my decision whether I'm gonna slowly involve meat back into my diet to figure out exactly what meat, or if it's all meats, or if I'm gonna just stick with being vegan and not have any meat in my diet. And just to let you guys know that if anything, I like do a meal prep or something and it has shrimp, scallops, crab, or lobster in it, those are shellfish. They're not animal, they don't eat animals, so they're not an animal-based eater. they're a plant-based eater, so they are considered vegetarian or mostly vegan, because majority of the vegan recipes I have looked up on Pinterest, they do have shrimp in them, they do have crab, they do have lobster in them. So I just want to clarify that, you guys. Even if you follow me on Instagram or Twitter or my Facebook pages or my Snapchat, and you guys see me with a dish with shrimp or something on it, that is plant-based. They eat plants. I have Googled it. I have researched it. I've had made sure that it is strictly vegan and that they eat plants. I would not tell you guys otherwise if I didn't do my research on it. I am also new, so I am watching a lot of people on YouTube. I follow a lot of people on YouTube that are vegan, so I kind of get a little bit of an idea of what they do for them, or what they eat, so that I can incorporate that into my diet and try out their foods. Whereas my mom also got, I think, a cookbook or 2 cookbooks that are strictly vegan, and from a friend from a coworker that she'll be bringing home tonight. She was at the lake all week, so oh my god, I can't get enough of water. It's just my plain water right now. I haven't made my tea yet. So anyways, if you guys want to see me do my iced tea in this tumbler, also let me know down below, or what teas I use to make it. I need to get some more lemonade, because I do like to put a little bit of lemonade in my tea. It just gives it a little bit of that sweet taste. So yeah, I gotta get a little bit more lemonade. I bought it on Tuesday and I finished it yesterday. So yeah, because I can't find my dad's shaker cup for to shake the tea and the lemonade together, so I don't need to add a lot to here. But yeah, anyways, you guys, I kind of rambled on about some stuff and kind of gave you my whole background and my whole story. I hope this answers some of the questions that I answered to in my previous video. But other than that, I will talk to you guys in 2 weeks about being vegan or going back to being a meat eater. I'm not too sure. I really actually love being vegan right now, so there is a very good chance that I am gonna stay vegan, and a very slim chance that I will go back to being a meat eater. I need to give my body 2 weeks to see if it likes it better this way or not. I am going regularly, number 2 now since I've been vegan, so that's one main reason I need to make sure that this is a great diet for me or a great lifestyle change before I can make any decision. And I hope you guys understand that, or understand where I'm coming from. If you guys if you guys have any videos you would like me to do, please comment down below and I will add them into my schedule to film. Have a great day. Bye.